Hey Chemistry, Mrs. KJ here, going over part 2 of 5.03, Specific Heat. So in our last video, we left off here, talking about how the calorimeter is a closed system. So what that means is that it's so well insulated that we can ignore the temperature around it. We're just dealing with the temperature of the water that was in here and the object, like the hot quarter that we put in here. So that's good because otherwise the environment could impact our results. Once you know the heat given off by the unknown substance, you can use the same equation to determine the specific heat capacity. And so in the first part, we said, okay, how much heat does a quarter that was in boiling water, so the quarter is 100 degrees Celsius, and then you throw it in colder water, how much heat does it give off? And if we use our equation Q equals mc delta T, that tells us how much heat, and if we rearrange it, that tells us our specific heat capacity, which on these substances is on a given list. You do not need to memorize this list. All right, so let's do some story problems. A 50-gram copper rod absorbs 585 joules of heat to raise its temperature by 30 degrees Celsius. What is the specific heat of copper? So we have our equation. We list what we know. Our heat, abbreviated Q, is 585 joules. Our mass is 50 grams. And our delta T, or change in temperature, is 30 degrees Celsius. So hit pause. Put it in your calculator. What do you get? This is what you should have put in your calculator. And your answer should be 0.39 joules per gram degree Celsius. This is not a minus, they use it to separate so you can see, but if we look here, none of our units canceled off. We have joules on the top, we have grams, and degrees Celsius on the bottom. You can also use the multiplication sign to separate them. If it helps, you can also add parentheses to show that both of these units are on the bottom of the fraction. All right, let's do another problem. 100 grams of a substance absorbs 1.17 kilojoules when the temperature goes from 100 to 130 degrees Celsius. So hit pause. List what you know. Remember, you need to practice these so that you get better at them. So hit pause. And also after you make your list, check your units and see which ones you need to change so that they'll fit back up in our equation. So hit pause and do that. And so we have our mass is 100 grams. My heat is 1.17 kilojoules, or 1,170 joules. And the temperature goes from 100 to 130. So my change in temperature, I have to take 130 minus 100. My change in temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Put it in your handy-dandy calculator, and what do you get for an answer? 0.39 joules per gram degree Celsius. So use this information, use your table of specific heat, and tell me, what substance was this story problem about? So hit pause, get your answer. My specific heat is 0.39. So I look in here and, oh, there it is. It was talking about copper. And copper is abbreviated Cu. All right, so the pre-quiz has a bunch of questions. It does have some math questions as well. And there is also a cheat sheet for you to download. And so if you looked at your to-do list, meaning when you go into the lesson, when you're logged into the class, make sure you download the cheat sheet, which you can use for this unit or whenever you need it. Okay, that's it. Come see me when you need help.